Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're going to be talking about Summoner Showdown, and I will do my best to explain the tournament in its entirety, help you understand the best I can how this tournament is going to take place, who is eligible, who is not, and how it's going to look like. And then at the end we're going to take a look at the rewards and whatever else we have. So first, couple of things. This tournament will have two difficulties available. One is kind of going to be the serious difficulty for the try-hard players. But if you just will want to kind of like take a look at what it is about, there will be a lower difficulty where you can actually win some 2 million gold in total and about 15,000 5-star shards, and that should be relatively much easier, so everybody kind of will get a little bit something to do. Now, as far as rewards go for the entire tournament, they are kind of really impressive and comprehensive, but obviously they will only be given out to extremely small proportion of players, so majority of the players do not realistically have a chance to obtain them. But that is fine, because that is the whole idea of tournament. And now the tournament in itself is going to take part in 3 different phases. Now first we're going to start with qualifiers, and basically every single player who is at age of majority and is coming from one of the selected countries in this list pretty much will be able to enter as long as you are Cavalier and level 60. So the basic requirements is that you are age of majority. Age of majority in most countries is 18. Then you have to be in one of these countries, and they are grouped in 3 different regions, and each region basically will have its different pool and different competition against each other in the qualifying phase. I'm going to explain that in a second. And unfortunately, it seems that India is left out of the list, same as is Pakistan and many other Middle Eastern countries which do have a huge following, so I'm sure there are going to be a lot of upset people who cannot take part in here. But let's return to the base point. So you have to be age of majority, you have to be from one of these countries, and then lastly you have to be Cavalier level 60. The entire event will have 3 different stages. The big one, kind of like is where most people are going to be involved, obviously is going to be the qualifying phase, because again, everybody who's 18 lives in one of those countries and is Cavalier and level 60 can take part in and enter these qualifying rounds. The qualifiers themselves will look like a week-long quest with a single fight in it, which is just going to be this one boss fight. We have 3 bosses: Iron Man Infinity War, Captain Marvel movie version, and Silver Surfer. So basically gonna have 3 sessions. Each session is going to be week long with a different boss, and session 1 is going to start at August 17th, finishing on 24th. Session 2 is going to start on August 31st, and then again session 3 is going to start on September 14th. So all of these will basically have summoners fight against one specific boss, which is, let's say for the sake of example, Captain Marvel movie version, and every single best score from each of these regions. So basically all of the Americas are competing within each other, all of European and Russian countries and summoners from those countries are competing with each other, and all of the players from Asia or Oceania are competing within each other. At end of this week, whoever has the first spot in each region is going to basically qualify for semifinals. So that means within these 3 sessions in total there are going to be 9 players, only 9 players unfortunately, which is my personal one of the biggest criticisms to this, because Summoner Showdown was like 27 players and then the finals were 9, I believe. But in this case we only have 9 players who will qualify for semifinals. So 3 from Americas, 3 from Europe and Russia, and 3 from Asia and Oceania. So that will lead us to having 9 people who qualify, and then we'll obviously get showcased, featured in videos and whatnot, and compete for the main prizes. And once you do qualify, you do get some ridiculously huge rewards. But the base point being is that you, and if you are able to enter, you will have 3 chances to qualify within each session once, and if you do qualify, then obviously you cannot qualify once more in the next session. Basically you're done. And yeah, So it does look interesting. It definitely does look interesting. That is more or less how the base of the tournament. Obviously, then later on we're going to go to semi-finals and finals. I'm not going to discuss that too much because statistically it's only going to be 9 people who make it there. And once we get closer to that stage, I might make a follow-up video explaining it. But you will be judged on 4 different criteria in order to kind of like submit your score. And that's going to be opponent's health percentage and or basically opponent KO'd. I am led to believe that you will be able to KO at least some of these mini bosses. The second criteria is going to be hits received, not on block but just generally getting hit. And the third one is going to be fight duration, and fourth one is damage per second, which again, fight duration and damage per second will effectively be the exactly same stat. I don't know why they duplicate it here, because the longer the fight is, the higher your DPS. But I suppose they are there if the final boss doesn't get brought down. Yeah, I guess then it does make a difference. But yeah, so anyways, these are the 4 criteria. Most notably, your remaining health is not here within the criteria. Therefore, it doesn't really matter whether you finish with low or high health, so long as you do it as quickly as you can and don't take any hits, then you should be good. So these are the criteria that you will basically kind of like look at. There is a special website where we're gonna have leaderboards and updates posted as the tournament goes live. An important note, very important note, is you cannot use boosts in this event, and if you are entering these fights boosted, your scores will not get counted. And it is purely due to the reason that they want everybody to kind of like have as equal chance as you can. The champions you can use in this is going to be 4-star champions only in the qualifier, and it will only be a 4-star champions basically that you own, and it's a single champion, so it will not have available any synergies to you. You can only bring in 1 champion in a quest to fight this boss. It has to be a 4-star that's obviously present and ranked on your own roster. You're not going to have any special champions whatsoever. So if you are thinking of taking this qualifying thing seriously, then I'd suggest kind of maybe slowing down and slowly building up some catalyst, because in a case of necessity, you should need to rank up some champions. You should have the catalyst available to you, because I think many people have long since stopped ranking up 4-stars. But yeah, that is who you're going to be using. So you're going to be using your 4-star champions in order to try and qualify. Now, when it comes to the people who do qualify, the rewards are quite ridiculous. Basically, you get a t-shirt, you get a 1 6-star champion of your choice. This is the first time ever I hear of anybody being able to just pick a 6-star. It's quite insane. You get a 6-star generic ramp-up gem, rank 1 to 2. It's kind of neat, and you get an iPhone 10 and a whole lot of kind of like streaming equipment. The reason for the streaming equipment, and I believe also the iPhone probably, is just to make sure that they can actually record you. So if you qualify, you do have the equipment to record yourself for the semi-finals and finals. So yeah, basically you get iPhone 10, obviously, which is cool, and a lot of mics, adapters, leads, stands, lights, whatever have you. And then if you win the semi-final, you get 1 6-star generic awakening gems. So that means they're going to give out 3 6-star generic awakening gems in total, I believe, then. And 40 generic 6-star signature stones, which is actually kind of funny, man. Like, 6-star signature stones are so overvalued and overpriced in this game that around after the qualifying round, which offers you iPhone, a 6-star of your choice, whatever, you get 40 signature stones. I'm sorry, that's funny. Yeah, so basically 40 signature stones are meant to replace an iPhone. No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously, like, but it is funny. I don't care. And anyways, and the final winner is gonna get some crazy stuff with a 6-star generic rank up gem from rank 2 to rank 3. 6-star generic max signature stone allows you to basically max sig any single champion, and ultimate world summoner in-game title. That means you're gonna be like the coolest guy around. You're gonna have the biggest set of balls swinging about. Basically, that's gonna be your Big Mac Daddy title, and you're also gonna get a real life trophy. So anyways, there is quite a lot of stuff to take in. Now, my personal biggest critique, I guess, for this would be that you have to use your 4-stars, I guess, because that, I don't know how well that's fit with me, and I know for a fact it's going to lead up to people ranking up 4-star champions that they would never in a million years rank up otherwise, nor that have a choice here. So ideally, I think what they should have done is conducted this entire tournament thing on a beta server, which would give them much more controlled environment, and let players kind of like have a way to obtain any 4-star champions, kind of like give an equal ground. But it's not perfect, I guess. It's definitely a decent kind of like way. Now, the fact that I picked 4-stars or 5 or 6 stars obviously can have a lot more inclusion for many different people, because 4-stars are much easier to obtain. But again, ranking up 4-stars is annoying. But hey, it is what it is. So 4-star champions they are, and I will probably give it a fair shot. I don't expect like to qualify or anything like that, but I'd like to see where I can land my account on the leaderboard. So I'll probably end up ranking up some 4-stars as well in this space, which is something I would never do aside from this event. So I think that event that automatically kind of like forces you to rank up champions just have like a chance to qualify is not the greatest idea in itself. And my second critique obviously would be that there's only 9 people who are getting picked out of the entire MCOC minus India basically. And that is obviously quite unrealistic kind of like pool to enter, because even if you think about even if you think about Act 6 Legends and stuff like that, even that was like 100 people, plus then you got like plus 40, 60 or 80 fastest times or something like that. Now this is going to be much more difficult to qualify, and I would have liked Kabam to extend, maybe do an extra phase, go from 27 then to 9 and then whatever finals they want. But hey, all in all, this tournament is obviously far superior to the one that they did run last year, because it actually gives far more people a chance to compete, which is what I like. Now, it offers something for everybody, because everybody is going to be able to get those 2 million gold and 15,000 5-star shards, which is not the biggest thing, but at least you're going to have a little bit of something again for participation there. And overall, I applaud it. Overall, I hope and wish they actually did this kind of like stuff, I don't know, once a month or maybe every couple of months or something like that, because it is something that's going to get a lot of people hyped up, a lot of people interested, a lot of people trying, improving, and that is going to be one of the biggest positives, because there is no limit to how many times you can enter. And obviously there are going to be people who are going to be on this like obsessed for a week straight, just playing, putting in them scores. And yeah, so overall, obviously, my overall opinion about this is positive. There are a couple of downsides, like as I mentioned, the 9 people is extremely small pool of people, and the fact that you're going to end up ranking up 4-star champions just for this is, I don't know, a bit of a waste. They should have tried to work it out better, even if it would mean using 3-star champions instead of 4-star champions, because we all have even bigger access to 3-star champions, and 3-star champions are so much more easy to rank up in the case of necessity. So everybody would have much more equal shots. So I would, instead of tuning this to a 4-star difficulty level or whatever, I would have brought it a bit down to the 3-star. So that would be my solution there, I guess. But I think that's about it. Obviously, you need to wait now, so everybody can start practicing fighting Captain Marvel movie version, Iron Man, Infinity War, and Silver Surfer. Now, important thing to note is that there obviously will more than likely be some nodes attached to these fights. I personally think that there will be. So I will get some practice runs in on the down low, but I'm not going to go overboard with it, because strategizing and all of that stuff I will leave to when we already will have all the information when this quest is going to be live, because you cannot predict who's going to be best champion if there's going to be some very tricky node combinations. And yeah, so I guess that will pretty much do for today's video. Let me know what you guys think about Summoner Showdown, this new version of it. And I definitely think it's far superior to the previous year's version. And yeah, will you be trying? Since it's only 4-star champions, I think many people do have a fair shot. Test out your skills. I think even for the point of interest myself, I'd like, even if not kind of like going absolutely all out and trying to qualify for a week straight. I'd still like to see where I can land on that leaderboard with a medium level of effort. But yeah, anyways, that will do for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit all the buttons, and I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya!